Hey everyone, thought I would just make a little video to help you guys out with this lesson. I'm going to go kind of faster than I normally do in class because theoretically you can pause and rewind, so if you need to pause, I encourage you to always pause and think about things before I tell you what's going to happen. Try to predict what I'm going to say. Otherwise I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and you can pause and rewind if you need to. Okay, let's take a look at two of the questions that you are assigned for the task on this classwork. The one we don't look at, I'm going to go ahead and just not make it do as part of the classwork. It's not as important as I thought it was originally. So let's jump into it. Solving a compound equality using the word and. And you look at this and there's not even the word and anywhere, so maybe that wasn't the best way to label it, but that's okay because what really matters is just doing algebra. So we look here. This time we've got two inequality signs. And I'm just gonna, you don't need to make these dashed lines if you don't want to. I'm just making them to help you guys organize your thoughts. And I guess the way you would read this is -3 is less than or equal to m minus 4 and less than -1. So that's where the and comes from. Alright, well, what's going on here is that instead of an inequality or an equation where we usually have a left side and a right side, this time we actually have three sides. We've got a left side, a middle side, and a right side. And everything else is just the same rules we've always been doing anytime you've done equations. So what do you want to do when you do equations? You want to get the variable by itself. So I look and see, well, who's over here on the side where the variable is? And it's the -4. So to cancel that out, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Oh, I'm so used to saying both sides, but now that there's 3 sides, I need to say all 3 sides. Okay, and you guys can think about the math here. You would get +1, bring down the less than or equal to sign. Now m is by itself, and this would make +3. You ask yourself, now what do I need to do? Well, the same thing you always do whenever you've gotten the variable by itself. I mean, this m is by itself, right? And that means you're done. So that is the end of our algebra to do here. You got m by itself. It's by itself in the middle. That still works. Okay, but then we have this number line here, and we're going to graph it. It really doesn't matter how you number it, as long as you get the two numbers you care about on the number line, which are 1 and 3. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start at, I don't know, -2, and then I'm just going to number it. I'm writing with a mouse, so it is not going to be very pretty. Ooh, that's a nice 3. No, that's not even close to a 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, but you get the point. And then you will label these just like we've always done. Ooh, that's an interesting color. Circle above the numbers you care about. In this case, there are 2 numbers I care about, so I'm actually going to put 2 circles. I guess it's important that this is a 3 here, so I'm going to fix it up a bit. And then you just think about which way you're going to go. Well, I see that m is, well, it says 1 is less than or equal to m. So first of all, because it has this little or equal to line under it, I need to fill in the circle. And then I need to think about which way I'm going to go from 1. Well, if 1 is less than m, that means m is bigger than 1. So I ask myself, which way are the numbers that are bigger than 1? Are they over here to the left? Or are they over here to the right? And they're over to the right. That's where the bigger numbers are, always. Okay, so I'm going to start creeping over towards the right, drawing my line, and then I'm going to hit 3, and I got to think about it again. It says m is less than 3. Remember that the little mouth is always eating the bigger number? That's how you can just remember which one's bigger. So it's saying that the 3, is this actually? No. Okay, that's how it looks like for you. Okay, the 3 is bigger than m, because it always eats the bigger number. This is really hard to look at the screen and think about what I need to move to make it line up right. Anyways, so m is smaller than 3 because the mouth is eating the 3 and you always eat the bigger number. So I ask myself, should I keep going past 3 or should I stop? And the answer is you should stop because if m has to be smaller than 3, we don't want to go past 3 because those numbers are bigger than 3. These numbers are bigger than 3, so we're not going to keep going, we're going to stop there. Okay. You can pause and write things down if you need to. We're going to go ahead and skip number 3a and b. It says to do it as part of your task, but if you're fortunate enough to have watched this video, I'm going to tell you that I am not going to grade 3b. So congratulations. All right, last one we're going to do together. We've got 4a. All right, this time, what are the solutions to blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah? You're just going to treat these like two completely separate questions. And that's really all there is to it. So, as always, you want to get the variable by itself. You get rid of the constant first. You'll have 3y less than -9. And then you get rid of the coefficient by dividing because there's a secret multiplication between the coefficient and the variable. Okay, and then y is less than 3. You'll work on this one over here now. Get rid of the constant first. -5 minus 5. You've got -4y is less than -4. You get rid of the coefficient by dividing, and I need to divide by -4 because the coefficient is -4. They cancel out. Well, they become 1, which no one puts the 1 in front of the y. So y comes down, and -4 divided by -4 is, well, like we just said, 1. In this case, it's not a coefficient, so we need to write it. And then don't forget that when you divide or multiply by a negative, you have to flip the inequality sign. So instead of continuing to be a less than symbol, it will now be a greater than symbol because we divided by a negative, in this case -4. Okay, time to graph. The two numbers I care about, there's been a mistake on this page the whole time, and that is that this should have been -3. Hopefully you caught that. The two numbers I care about are -3 and +1. So I don't know, let's start with -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, put circles above the numbers that you care about. Ooh, wow, I'm really not good with the 3's, am I? Okay, there we go. -3 and +1. You ask yourself, should I fill in any of these circles? And the answer is no, because these are not less than or equal to. There is no or equal to line under these. They're just, ooh, what did I click? Well, we'll make do. That's really annoying. Oh well. So we are not going to fill in any of the circles. Then we decide which way should we draw the line. Well, if we are looking at this one here, it says y is less than -3. You don't have to memorize that. You can just look at the little thing and see, oh, it's eating the -3. It's eating the bigger number, so y has to be smaller. And the numbers that are smaller are always to the left. So I'll draw an arrow going to the left. And this one over here, it says y is greater than 1, or you can just think the mouth is eating the bigger number, so y is bigger. So if I need to be bigger than 1, I guess I just gotta go to the right, because that's where the bigger numbers are. And that would be the end. Alright, hopefully this video was helpful. And yeah, if you have any questions, just email me, and I will be happy to help you. Have a good one.